Hello, good morning. Welcome to Stampin' Chat. It's Tuesday the 1st of March, another new month already. So we are done and dusted with first round of celebration for the year, but we do have lots of exciting new things coming our way. Just going to check that I'm live in the right place. I didn't advertise that I was coming live today, but that is a usual regular Tuesday thing. I'm live in the right place, that's a good start. So hopefully somebody will be joining me this morning. So I thought today, I've got a lot of new product that I've not inked up yet, and we've got a lot of new product sort of coming our way, some early release things as well. But I thought I would create today with the Light the Candles card kit, and I'm not using elements from the kit. I'm simply going to use the stamps and recreate something slightly different, just to show you that there is life after the products that are included in the kit. So I can see somebody's hopping on. Please do say hello. A couple of you are here. We had half term last week. Pretty good week of weather. We were quite lucky. It's a bit grey this week. We had some rain yesterday, but a bit chillier, but it's not too bad out there. I think we could have some rain coming our way later. But more on crafting, less on the weather. It's always good to know who's hopping on and where you're from, and you know what the weather is doing with you. Sorry, I'm uncrossing my leg because somebody's sitting on my feet and knocking the table while I'm doing it. So today, as I said, I'm going to be playing with the Light the Candles card kit. Now you will not find this in any publication, so it's not in any of the catalogues. You have to go to my online shop and look under the kits collection to find them. Good morning, Janet. How are you? You've got some glorious sunshine there. I'm very jealous. I think sunshine is always good and it lifts the mood, doesn't it? Good morning, Kay. How are you? Nice to have you both here. Okay, I think I'm going to turn you down because I don't want to. I've got 3 quick cards, quite simple cards today, but hopefully I'll get 3 done. I've got the girls coming at about midday, so I would like to get done and dusted and on with the rest of the day. Good morning, Ellie. You've got a meeting to go to this morning, so you're going to catch up later. Thank you for that. Yeah, chilly wind down there. Yeah, it's quite a chilly wind here as well. It's not, I mean, I can't see, yeah, the trees, I can see some trees moving quite rapidly out there. So it is breezy and slightly cooler. So, Kate, you're good too. It's very wet in the southeast. I don't like the wet. Don't like the wet weather, but of course we need it. We need to have some rain, don't we? Right, let's make some room, move everything out of the way and get you down onto my desk. Squeeze the palm of the hand. Alfie, you're going to have to move a minute, sweetheart. Try and get this set. Press the right button so that we have got a good view. Let's give a little zoom in. Get some light on the subject. And wait for Facebook to catch up and make sure that we are in shot, because that's always a good place to start. Good morning, Kate. You went out early to post some cards and it was quite chilly. Yeah, it is a bit fresh. It is a bit fresh. It's the air, isn't it? Good morning, Kim. Thank you all for stopping by. It's so nice to have you here. My MacBook hasn't frozen, which is good. I'm going to zoom in a little bit more because I do believe I've already shown you the inside of this kit. We'll have a quick flick though. There aren't lots of different components. I'm waiting for catch up. Maybe I've frozen. Doesn't look like my Mac is. Oh, I haven't frozen because I can see my shadow. Right, let's move over a little bit. and get rolling. So, Light the Candles kit, really fun kit. Let's tape you down. I think we're more or less straight. Still a bit sniffy here as well, so you might have to bear with me if I need to blow my nose. It's gross, isn't it? But it has to be done. Really fabulous kit. You can see the cards are very fun. And that is using the elements in here. But of course, you always get this really fab stamp set. Let's find a piece of... Sorry, Poppet. What happens when you sit right on the edge of my feet as soon as I move? So we've got this really fun stamp set in here. You've got Happy, Happy Birthday, Hip, Hip, Hooray, Light the Candles and Make a Wish, Happy Birthday to You, Birthday Wishes, Make a Wish, Wishing You a... and then Today's Your Day. And then you get these lovely kind of confetti, you get this sprinkle here, confetti, and these two kind of like starbursts, which I'm using, or the kit uses for the tops of the candles. So a really good stamp set that I'm sure you will find lots of use of afterwards, after you've used all the pieces in here. We get glue dots. Somebody asked me the other day, what were these in the kit? They are very teeny weeny, tiny glue dots. You've got these lovely embellishments. You have your Coastal Cabana ink spot, your Stampin' Spot, a block, Stampin' Up block. Then we have some card elements, some layers, and these are designed, so we've kind of got these, they're very bright, aren't they? But I quite like how fun these colours are. Oh, good morning, Tessa, how are you? That's fine if you can't stay, but I would love you to come back later and see what I've done. So as I've said, I'm not using any of these elements. I've recreated my own designs, and these sort of layer over like this. But of course, if you saved one, because the card kit itself makes 8 cards and there are 2 designs. So if you kept one of these and didn't make all of the cards, you could use this as a mask. Okay, so really pretty. They're like glittery. So you've got that design. And then you've got the cake design. So you have this. And I'm sure you could be quite genius with this, you know, cutting it, mounting it on dimensionals. But they're really fun, really quick and easy cards. So those are the top elements. Then we have like beautiful die cut labels. Lots more here. Some of these are for stamping on. And then we've got these banners here in Night of Navy for, if you look at the card designs, for like layering up here and here. And then you have the most delicious envelopes that are lined. I mean, how fun are they? I would be tempted to just cut up the envelope to use these pieces. And then we've got card bases. So we've got this lovely, I would say that was Mango Melody. It does say what colours are in here. And then this lovely Coastal Cabana base kind of spot. Coastal Cabana, Daffodil Delight, Magenta Madness, Mango Melody and Night of Navy. So a really good kind of selection of colours there. Cards that are suitable for young and old. Would make a really great gift because there's nothing too complex about this kit, and it comes in this beautiful sturdy box as well, which I seem to be collecting. Right, that is the kit itself. I've pulled out the stamps, but I have mounted ready what I need. Let's show you my colour combo. No shock horror here. These are looking a bit, they look very wishy-washy. So I've got So Saffron, Coastal Cabana, I was going to say Petal Rose then, Petal Pink and Soft Seafoam. So those are my colours. I think So Saffron probably has been with me for the whole 12.5 years that I've been a demonstrator. So it's looking a bit kind of sun-faded, but it's still working well. So that's my colour combo. I'm also pulling in some an embossing folder from the checks and dots. So these come as a pair. These work in the mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. And if you've checked on my page today, we've got a great offer on that mini cutting machine. There's 20% off, which is definitely not to be missed. It's a great little tool. And we have a whole bundle of dies, but I'll share that with you after. So I'm using the checks and dots. So let's put that up there by the machine. While I'm around here, we are also playing with this because I'm focusing on this at the moment because it's such a great set. It's the Beautiful Shapes dies. It's from the mini catalogue, and you've just got some really good elements in here for layering up with any of your projects. They're going to work with anything. They're fab. The other thing I have pulled out are a couple of packs of my designer series paper in our colour families. So I've got the brights and the subtles. Okay, so we're just using some pieces from there. And of course, they will be going soon because what happens when the new catalogue comes along, they change the patterns. So it doesn't, I guess I could still use them because the colours will be the same. And then if you wanted to purchase them, you would just get a different pattern. So let us begin. So before we go any further, how are we all? Some of you have already told me you're doing well. Some of you are out on your travels. You've come and gone. But it was lovely to have you while you were here. Let's look at what inks. So in the kit, so let me know how you're doing. In the kit, you get the mini Coastal Cabana ink pad. So it's called a Stampin' Spot. But I'm going to use my larger version. I'm getting quite a collection of those little spots, and I think I will be giving them away as little gifts. I just think they'd be really handy for some people. Good evening, Vicky. How are you doing? Thank you for stopping by. So Vicky, today we're playing with the Light the Candles card kit, but I'm only using the stamps from the kit. So I haven't used anything else in the kit yet, but it's such a simple kit. It's quite self-explanatory. But with these kits, they're such great value at £18 for what you get in them. You need to get good use from the stamps once you are done with all the other elements in the kit. So I have a base of basic white with what looks like either an eyelash or an Alfie hair attached to it. Dogs are gross, aren't they? Before I had a dog, and this is a funny story, Alfie's now 8. He's heard me talking about him, he's coming back up. But before we got him, I didn't want a dog. I never really wanted a dog, just because of like the hairs and the smell and kind of everything. And every time I touched anybody else's dog, I would immediately wash my hands. I was just, I don't know, maybe it's like the OCD in me. Anyway, my husband pestered us to get a dog. He was searching on rescue sites and everything. Anyway, Alfie came along and everybody was so surprised that I'd got a dog, and couldn't believe that I'd got a dog, as if I was like Mrs. Prim and Proper. But I would not be without him. And when I find the odd hair floating around, it doesn't bother me because he's my fur baby and it's allowed to happen. Although I'm not a cat person, I'm not into cats at all, but he is my little man and he is my companion. He keeps me company here. I love him to bits. So basic white layer, as always, 5 3/4 by 8 1/4, folded in half. I'm going to pop that to one side, and I've got a layer of soft sea foam. So love this green. I think with the petal pink, they work so well together, and this should measure 3 3/4 by 5 3/8. Okay, so that's my first layer. Then I've cut, just scrolling comments, then I've cut a piece of the Coastal Cabana designer series paper from the 6x6 pack, and I don't know which side to use on this one. Might stick to the one that I've done on my original because I quite liked it. And I've cut this piece at 2.5 by 5 1/4. And it's literally going to sit on top of this layer here. Let's get some tools out ready. Get the Tombow flowing. It's getting low, this one. I'll be needing a new one soon. If you're hopping on, please do say hello. There's a few of you on here this morning. Move my chair out of the way. Don't think I'm going to be sitting today. So I'm going to keep to this side. I'm going to add some Tombow just on the back of here. And I'm still struggling to pick things up with my nails, but you will notice that I've given them a coat of paint because I just stuck those two together. Jason and I had a dinner to attend on Saturday evening, and it was for one of his race series that he drives in, and obviously with COVID we'd missed awards ceremony for the past two race seasons, so we had an evening of dinner and trophy presentations, and it was very fun. Late night for me. We didn't get home until 12:15, 12:30, gone midnight, so I was really tired, but I treated myself. I painted my own nails. So good morning, Mary, how are you doing? I'll probably say good evening to you, wouldn't I? You're saying good morning. Where are you from, Mary? Remind me. And you're catching me live. That's good. I'm guessing it's evening where you are. Okay, so let's just now mount this soft seafoam layer onto the base. So we've got a nice, quite a large white border all the way around. I'm very conscious that I work on an angle. I think that's because I sit on an angle. When I sit to the table, this is a fun fact. When I sit to the table, I'm never sat like directly in line like this. I'm always sat to this way. So it's just after 9 p.m, Mary. Oh, well, thank you for stopping by. In my world, just after 9 p.m, I am kind of thinking about heading upstairs to get some sleep. Especially lately, I've been so tired lately. Okay, so I've just mounted these together. What do I want to do next? Let's do a little bit of stamping. Let's pull in my mat, because the stamp set is photopolymer and Stampin' Up suggests that we work on a foam mat. Now, this isn't the mat that's in the catalogue. This is the mat from the Stamparatus, whatever you prefer to call it. But I quite like it because it's thinner and it sits in my craft caddy next to me quite easily. So, but there is the proper Stampin' Pierce mat in the catalogue if you need, or if you're looking for a mat, because with the photopolymer we do need, because there's no sponge in between the stamp kind of in the rubber, we need something to offer like a little bit of give when we're stamping. Right, from the stamp set, I've just realised I need to mount another one up. I want this happy birthday. Let's find a block. Blocks could do with another good clean. And in my little kit here, I've got myself a long strip of basic white. This is either an offcut or about 1/2 inch. Yeah, it's 1/2 inch. Have you got rain as well, Vicky? Oh, bless you. And it's heavy. Yeah, we've had a bit of that over the weekend. We've managed to, I was talking to you last week about the river that floods locally, and it doesn't affect us here, but it does affect the road out of the village. But thankfully it did come onto the road, but not bad enough to close the road, so that was good. Okay, so I'm going to ink up this happy birthday. Now you can see already that I've partially inked. You can tell by the way that my stamp is stained. So I'm going to, I don't know if you can see this, I don't need the whole of it. So this is Coastal Cabana. And I'm just going to pop that down, try and get it straight. That will do fine. I've washed my hair this morning and it feels fluffy, for want of a better word. I definitely need to, I don't know about any of you guys if you use a mask, but was regularly using a mask on my hair that I would put on like after conditioning, and it ran out and I haven't got to get in another one. But I think it does make a difference, just conditions your hair a bit, but hair's just a bit fluffy. And when there's moisture in the air, my hair, if I straighten it, which I straighten it when I wash it, and I don't wash it every day, I go for as long as I can. Once I've straightened it, if there's moisture in the air, my hair just kind of, it grows, it goes fluffy on the ends. So I've just stamped my greeting there. So that was from the happy birthday. And I also need, I've got a very teeny weeny skinny strip here. And I need wishing you a, which I've mounted up ready. And the great thing about these being photopolymer is that we can see directly through. And I do love that. It just makes our life a bit easier, doesn't it? When you can actually see where you're stamping. I do love our red rubber, I love the cling, but you cannot beat being able to see straight through. That wobbled a bit. I think that's okay. The A looks a bit, let's have another go. The A looks a bit heavy. That's better. Wishing you a, let's move that out of the way. And just trim that off. So we've got wishing you a happy birthday. I'm going to keep that because I may use part of it. Now, next what I've done is I've cut strips of kind of coordinating colours, and these measure 1 3/4 inches by 1/2 inch. Okay, so what you can do is just cut, if you're going to do a load of these, don't cut them individually, kind of batch cut them. So either cut strips of 1 3/4 and then turn it and cut it at 1/2 inch. Don't be cutting them individually, it'll take you ages. So I've cut one in Coastal Cabana and one in Petal Pink. And what I'm going to do is pull in my plates for my cutting machine. And the checks and dots embossing folders are not kind of the 3D ones, they're quite thin. So what we need to do is take out plate number 2, and I'm just going to pop the petal pink one in. I want to line it up so it's straight. I just think it'll look better if the dots are straight. And then carefully close it and pinch it. Then I'm going to run that through with a top plate over the top. Put my plates back. I always find if you put your plates back in the right position when you go, unless of course like you're doing a whole batch of embossing, I always like to put them back ready for die cutting. So we've just got this lovely little embossed layer of card. So I'm going to put those two to one side. And then what I need to stamp, let's find a little scrap. I need my So Saffron. Looks very well loved, this ink pad. And then this little starburst, which is going to be the top of my candle, is going to ink in So Saffron a couple of times like that. And then we'll snip those off. Now, if you have got, move that mat now, I don't need that, I don't think. If you've got a small circle die, sadly, the circles in the Beautiful Shapes dies don't go small enough. Ellie, you're off. Thank you for stopping by. Hope your meeting goes okay. You're tempted by this kit. Yeah, it's really fun. Really fun. The children would love it. It's so easy to put together. Yeah, the circles in here are way too large. So if you've got any other circle dies or a punch, we used to have some lovely circle punches. You could quite easily punch these out and then just leave them as a circle. What I'm going to do, hopefully you can see, is just trim around the edge of this. And it doesn't have to be super even, because once it's cut out, you don't really see the white edge so much. So I've just trimmed around that. So it's not perfect, I'm not worried about that. And then I'm going to snip into each of these kind of white triangles. It's not too fiddly, and if you use the inner part of your scissors here, you can kind of cut right up to the center, and then when you cut the other side, it should just fall out. So, helicopter going over. And if they don't, if you give them a gentle tug, they will come out. So unless you were going to cut like 50 of these, if you were batch preparing some cards, you might get a bit cross having to do this. But if you're just doing a few, can you see, even though it's not perfect, it looks fine. So I'm going to put that to one side. I've got some more that I prepared earlier because I thought that would be rather painful for you to sit and watch me doing all of those for each of my cards. And then the other thing I've got a scrap of basic white here. And I just want to die cut. Frog in the throat. A couple of the hexagons. And I think, let's just measure. I think it's these two. Yeah. Absolutely love these. Just think hexagons are great shapes on your cards for layering, for anything. Right, I could do with a scrap of white on there. Shall we just risk it? Can you see how grubby my top plate is? I need to pull out another new one. I know I've got some on order. So what I'll do is just pop this bit of wax paper in between just to protect, just because of all that adhesive on that plate. And that's what happens like when we use washi tape. Kind of gets stuck to the plate. And then it makes your plate all sticky, and then that transfers onto your layer. So hopefully you can see they're quite smooth and clean still. Right, so we've got our two hexagons. Let's pop those back. So just cut those both out. And I think we're ready to start putting this card together. So it's very simple, very sweet and simple. Comes together really quickly. So we're going to start with the larger hexagon, and I'm just going to add, she says, Tombow to the back, and I'm going to pop it down over on the right hand side. Try and get it straight. Let's put a smudge on it. Must have had something on my finger. I love this. It's such a great tool. I'm sad that we don't sell it anymore, but you can still get them. We were having a conversation about this the other day. you can still get them. It's called an adhesive remover. Then I'm going to pop on another hexagon, but this one I'm going to layer. I'll just pop 3 on there to balance it out. I'm going to kind of have it just up and above. About there, I think. Is that straight? So hard to see. I can hear Alfie snoring. Oh, that's saying it's a dog's life. And then on my candles, better put 3 on these. We don't want any saggy middles, do we? I'm going to pop on. Now you could of course make these candles from pattern paper. That would work quite well. And let's just put 1 going that way, 1 going that way, and pull in another. This is light on top of the light on the top of the candle. What do you call that bit at the top? It's just my brain isn't engaging, but you know the bit at the top of a candle, the flame, that would be it. Isn't it awful when words just won't come into your brain? Goodness me. So, but equally, this stamp would make a fabulous background sparkle. So we've got those down. Then I'm going to pop, because this layer is on a dimensional, I'm going to pop 1 on the end of here and then Tombow on the left. So because half of it is going to be higher up than the other. And we'll just pop that over this side and hope that it's straight. Let that Tombow dry for a moment. And then the Wishing You A, I'm going to pop, I've got some edge pieces here because I just want like a very slim strip. The wick, well done Kim, yes, thank you. You've got the wick and then the flame, haven't you? I did have a go at candle making once. It wasn't very successful. It wasn't something, you know what it's like. I bought all the kit, had a go, and then it wasn't very successful. So that was it. That was as far as it went. Back in the box. I'd like to say in the loft, but living in a barn conversion, our loft is so tiny that there isn't room for anything up there. We do have a couple of mezzanines, which I do often put stuff up in out of the way, that act as a bit of a loft. So that card is done. So really simple. You could add more to this. You could add some bling if you wanted to. You could maybe add bling to the center of the candles. What I might just do, which I did do on my original, is just with the little kind of sprinkles die, the confetti, I might just add with the soft sea foam. There's a hair on there. I stamped off on my original, but it's a bit wishy-washy, so I'm just going to go for it and go kind of full strength. Let's turn that around how I want it. That's better, that definitely pops up. I'm not sure that I love this, but let's put one up there as well. I don't think I like that. I wish I hadn't done that. But it's done. But yeah, I think a bit of bling maybe on the flame would work really well, or maybe like a triangle of bling. So that's the first card. So really simple, nothing rocket science, very simple for me, and just using couple of word sets and the, like the flame, the, kind of want to call it confetti, but this is more confetti. So you've got a smaller one here, which is really cute. You would definitely need to be punching or die cutting that one out, but they make great background, all of those three, great background stamps. Okay, let's do number 2. Let's find some kits. Okay. I've done a bit of die cutting ahead of time because I wanted lots of the small hexagons on this one. So again, base. Thank you, Kay. It's a bit simple, but then sometimes people want simple. I'm quite good at adding layers and adding layers. I'm just looking at a card that's right in front of me. And adding layers, you saw me do this the other week, and just adding more layers. I'm really good at doing that. So when I do a card like this, I feel like a bit of a fraud. But I think that sort of comes down to kind of our style, doesn't it? And how we like to, you know, prepare things. But simple stamping is good because we always, at some point, need to make a quick card. You know, if we're a bit pushed for time, and I think this stamp set and using these elements to create kind of candles, they work for different ages as well. And just think of the possibilities with colour. And I have done the cards that I've done today, I've done them in colours from the kit, so I will share those with you after, just so you can see how different they will look. So again, from the 6x6 packs of DSP in our colour families, this is from the Subtles, this is Petal Pink, and I've just cut a 2" by, I think it's 4 3/4 strip. This could be any measurement, but if you use 2", then you're going to get 3 of these pieces from one sheet of the DSP, whereas on the previous card I went a bit wider at 2.5, so you're going to be left with like a 1" strip, which I'm sure you'll find are useful. You could make some candles out of that, but I wanted to use the paper for the backgrounds just because I was using, oh, which colour should we go with, which side? Maybe I'll use that side on this one. I did this one on my original. I do like it. Yeah, I'm going to stick with it. Let's just put the glue on and get it down, and then I can't change my mind. Come on, Tombo. So those of you that use Tombow, you'll know that the edge of it kind of seals over. When it's been sat there, unloved for a moment, the end bit of the nozzle just dries up slightly. Right, just give my hands a wipe, have a quick drink. Oh, Vicky, is that kit not available? Oh, bless you. I know there is another kit coming as well that is available to other markets, but we don't have it just yet. But hopefully coming soon. Right, I've cut some candles ready, and this time I've used Coastal Cabana and Soft Sea Foam, and I've pre-embossed the Coastal Cabana one. But the main focus for this card was using, again, I've been trying to show you how to use these hexagons. So I'm going to start with just one of them that I'm going to raise on dimensionals. I'm going to pop 3 behind here, which kind of seems quite excessive, but if you put 2 on, then it's going to like wobble from side to side. And this one needs to go up at the top, somewhere about there. So this is our starting point. Okay, so straight down onto the base with our DSP, and then we're just going to now add in like a honeycomb. Oh, my brain wouldn't work then. in like a honeycomb effect. So hard to see from the angle I'm stood at. Hopefully they'll be okay. So I'm just kind of popping them together, a bit like a puzzle, and just having like an even like border in between them. And then we're going to have a little gap, and then the next one, and they're all facing in the same direction with, got Tombow on me, with the flat part at the top. And we'll pop this one a little bit lower and in a bit. Let's bring it down. And next, pop that one alongside it. So you are kind of like building a puzzle. So who has these dies? The beautiful shapes. Ellie, I've got yours here. I need to post them out. They are very, very handy. Oops, you look a bit crooked. So I'm just building up. I'm creating kind of a background here using these hexagons. Oops. Tombow's gone to sleep. Yeah, they're such a really good die set. What did I say? They were £27, I think. Let's have a look. Yeah, £27. They're just very useful because they are kind of non-specific. Mary, you've ordered them today. Yeah, I just think they're really good, really kind of handy. Good all-rounders. These are good for like popping greetings inside. I love that these have an embossed edge to them. So you've got that one, and that one that all have that like centre embossed part. And you saw me use these. What card did I use those on? I'm looking over at my display. I did use these tiny little triangles. They're just really, really handy. Handy to have. Right, let's add in our candles. Do get through these dimensionals. Let's have a little poll then. Who likes the mini dimensionals, or do you prefer the standard ones? I had a class here on Saturday and somebody had some dimensionals, and I asked, she wanted some, and so I said, would you want the minis or the standard? And when I actually haven't looked at the standard ones for quite a while, right, I'm just popping on these candles down here at the bottom. Haven't used the larger ones. I'm gonna go and get a packet and show you. And when I looked at them, I'd forgotten just how large they are. Right, let's see if we can show you. Can you see the difference in size? And I feel that I'm quite addicted to the minis. And although, how many do we get in? Get 300 in the standard. You get 720 in the mini. So it's kind of the same amount of foam, but obviously different sizes. And I do, you know, obviously if you're like me, I just use the minis. So I probably put on twice as many, which is the same as using the standards. But there's just something about the minis. Kate, you like the minis as well? Yeah, I do. As regards the border, the edge, so you get a skinny strip of the edge left. You definitely get more border with the minis, which I really do like. As you know, I cut into these for skinny strips. It's really, really handy for those little strips that you need that are maybe too narrow for the actual dimensional. And I think now if I went back to using the standard dimensionals, I'd probably end up chopping them up. Is that madness? I think it is. I love the minis. And they're great value. So you get 3 whole sheets for £3.75. And what I love about our dimensionals is the depth. They're high enough, but they're not too deep. I don't know if anybody else has noticed that, but other brands can be quite deep, so it makes your project kind of very high for posting. So I've just popped dimensionals on the backs of these flames and wicks, and I'm popping them on top of my candles. Now I need to do a little bit of stamping and then we're done with this one. So really, really simple today. Taking it back to basics. Got 2 skinny strips here. I've always got skinny strips like this handy. I'll keep this little bag right next to me in my craft tote, in my caddy. You know when you get little pieces left, they go in that bag. Just such, for stamps like this, okay, for wishing you, light the candles and make a wish, today's your day, they're just perfect for that. So what do I need? I need the long one, light the candles and make a wish. I've mounted that rather crookedly. Oh, I don't want to sew saffron. Let's put that away for a moment. Seems like you like the minis. So I'm just taking Petal Pink, gonna ink up the whole of the word, the greeting. Oh, I'm gonna have to pull that down a bit, otherwise my fluffy hair is gonna be on show. Oh, that's not straight at all. Definitely not straight. We'll have to use the emergency side. Nobody will ever know. That should be better. So we've got light the candles and make a wish. I'm just going to clean that in my chamois. Look how dirty it looks. It is quite clean. And then I'm going to ink that back up in my Coastal Cabana. Remember, you get a Coastal Cabana in the kit. And I'm going to do another. Start with your paper straight. Don't breathe for a minute. See, photopolymers just make it so easy to stamp a greeting, even on the skinniest little strip like that. That's it for stamping, I think. I did do a bit of background stamping, but after the last one, I don't think I'm going to do it. We'll see. And then what I want to do with this one, I don't want that side. That was the side that went wrong. I would like light the candles. And then I want make then I want the word and the word wish, or a wish. And I'm not throwing away the leftover bits. So the make, light the candles, the and a wish from, I will keep those because that will do me another card. Let's bring this back in. Grab that little edge piece stuck to me. Now I'm confusing myself as to which side I want. I think it will be that one. And pop these on the back. So I'll just cut 2. A bit fiddly to get off. It's not the right side. Can't remember which is a good side, which is the bad side. They both look the same. That one looks a bit crooked, but we'll go with this one. Light the candles. Pull off the backs. The other thing I love about our dimensionals, is that the reverse, the back piece comes off so easily. So let's pop this one over here. Light the candles. Add a bit of Tombow. Pop in the and. Haven't got my take your pick tool out. Let's have it straight because that will annoy me otherwise. Light the candles and make a wish. I love breaking up our greetings just so they look a little bit more interesting and they work better with your design. Surprising how long Tombow does take to stick. And I feel this one does need that sprinkle, so let's just give it a clean. Is that straight still? Is it playing tricks with me? And I'm just gonna add, I want something just to stamp off on a scrap. I can do it on this scrap. I'm going to stamp it off and just a very pale, oh that's too pale. This confetti isn't doing so well for me. And then we'll have another there. Managed to get it on there, but that's fine. I can soon pull that one off and replace. Maybe another one down here. No, let's leave it. It will only annoy me if it goes wrong, if I rock again. So should have, in hindsight, done the confetti before this part of the word goes back on. But to be honest, I've got a spare one here. I could just cut that out and stick that one in its place just to hide that little smudge. I'm doing really well at smudges at the moment. I managed to smudge another card that I was doing yesterday. Put a huge thumbprint on it, I'll show you it. So another finished card. Here's my original. Guessing maybe I didn't stamp off so hard on the splats. So just a really fun, simple card, quite sweet, quite fresh. Kay, you love it, thank you. I do like the colour combo that I've pulled together for this one. Quite pleased with that. Right, we've got one more. How are we doing for time? We're doing quite well. Using a bit more colour on this one. Only a bit though. So this time we've got a layer of Coastal Cabana. Again, basic white for my base, but you could go very bold if you wanted to. Remember that, I love my white. So Coastal Cabana will be 3 3/4 by 5 3/8. Let's just check that is, yep. 3 3/4 by 5 3/8, and then I've cut a piece of the soft sea foam. This is such a sweet colour, and that's 1 7/8. I don't know why I didn't do that too. I must have had an odd piece left in my pack, and it's 5 1/4. So I'm going to just lay that one straight down on now while it's to hand. And I'm just going to lay it straight down onto that Coastal Cabana. Super, super fast card, this one. And then both of those layers down onto our base layer. Quite a big border again. I've got into a habit of using this size, so 3 3/4 by 5 3/8 for my front layer. just to allow the colour of the base to pop out. And then I've pre-cut some hexagons just in basic white. Now again, you could turn this, you could emboss these layers, you could turn these into DSP, you could make them much more extravagant than mine are, but I think sometimes we just need a starting point to go on. And I think like when we're looking for maybe inspiration of what to do, I mean, sometimes I will see something as a starting point, and it could be a sketch, it could be a colour combination, and it just gets us rolling, and then we kind of add our own flair to it. Don't you think? Sometimes we need like a starting point. I'm going to pop that one just there, and then the next size, I don't know if it's actually the next size down, but this slightly smaller one, just going to wedge it underneath so that they're connected. And I've also cut, this time, 3 candles. So remember, these are 1 3/4 by 1/2 inch. And I'm going to pop dimensionals just on the one that I've embossed. So that was with the stripes and, no, what's it called? Stripes and spots? No, checks and dots. I was thinking of this one. Stripes and splatters, but it's checks and dots. I've just embossed that one. And then I'm going to start by adding on, oh, I was practicing on the back of this one. That was another thing as well. I was thinking, if you had just a plain layer, you could use this little sprinkle just to like add background to something. So we're just going to pop that one down over this side. Add in the embossed petal pink one. Put that one in the middle. Bring you down a little bit. And then, oops, the Coastal Cabana one went on the floor. And now I can't pick it up. Oh, the nails. I've dented the corner, but it'll be fine. And then that one is just going to go over this side. Cut these out ready. So we're going to have one on dimensionals. Children would love this card kit as well. I'm convinced it's simple enough for younger children. And then I'm going to raise the middle one. Oh, just move that. With a dimensional. Bearing in mind we are now 2 layers up because we have dimensional under this hexagon and a dimensional under here. So if you're thinking of like redesigning, recreating, always think about your layers for posting. And then we've got a little bit of stamping to do for our greeting. And I pulled from the set the happy birthday to you because it fitted lovely inside the small hexagon. And this hexagon is the double one. It's this one, so it cuts 2 in one go, which is really, really, really great and quick and speedy for your crafting. I'm going to use the Coastal Cabana because that is the one that's in the kit. Just ink that up. Stamp it down. Can you see it fits lovely inside there? Oh, I need that. And then another slim skinny strip. And this long greeting. And all I want from here is the Make a Wish, but I'm going to stamp the whole thing because, as I said before, I don't mind having other bits and pieces left over from this strip because I will use them. Have a little pile going. So we're just going to have Happy Birthday to You, Make a Wish. Move everything out of the way. And then all we're going to do is get rid of the mat. Couple of minis behind the hexagon greeting. And we'll pop that one. Oh, stuck to me. That happens so often. There like that, and then the Make a Wish. We'll turn it over. Again, another skinny strip. But I'm just going to pop it on the right hand side because I want to pop it here, and this side is already raised up. And then we'll just have that one. Doesn't matter where it goes, I guess. Down at the bottom. Make sure it's straight. And then we've got Happy Birthday to You, Make a Wish. So a really quick, speedy card there. And what I love about like creating candles like in this style is that it uses up all of your scraps. Even if you've got something slightly wider, you could use that, or you could have different widths of candles. And for your DSP as well. So we always get like strips that are left. You know, use up your scraps. It's a great way of doing that. Pull out your scrap bag and just randomly put a colour combination together, just using your scraps. Kind of challenge yourself to use them up. So let's do up some lids. That is me done for the day. Very simple cards for me today. Let's bring them back in quickly, and then I will show you the ones that I did in the other colours. So they are really quite sweet. They're very sherbety. I would describe them as sherbet colours. So Coastal Cabana, Petal Pink, Soft Sea Foam, and a bit of So Saffron as well. Just pulling out. So these cards I originally designed in these colours. Nice big fingerprint there. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that, but I'll think of something. I don't feel that a butterfly, usually a butterfly works really well, so I have to think of something. So exactly the same designs as the three that I've just made. So that is that one. Look how different they look in the different colours. And can you see I've used the Celebration paper, Rainbows of Happiness, but really bright. Aren't they bright? I kind of love the pop of Polished Pink. I think that's Polished Pink, or could be Magenta Madness actually. I think that's the colour in the kit. So, but I felt I didn't want to recreate these today because you can no longer get these pattern papers. But they're kind of more in line, if I grab the kit again, more in line with the colours that are included in this kit. Okay, so real popper colour. But I am pleased with my nice soft sherbet edition. I do quite like them, apart from these splats. What do you think? Which do you prefer? The soft sherbet or the pop of bright? Kay, could I cover that mark with the white chalk marker? That's a good point. That is a good point. Wonder if it would work. Is mine handy? I'm just locating it. Oops. Knocked my lip balm on the floor. I haven't used this for ages, so it probably won't even work. Have a go. No, I think it's dried up. And it's been facing up the wrong way. I will have to think about that. See what I can do. I'm sure there's a way of covering it. It's too cute to waste. Kim, thank you for the inspiration. Great layout. Could be used with any embellishments or stamps. Exactly, yes, anything. You know, take off the candles, completely different stamp set, pop a flower on here, pop a greeting, anything. That's the great thing about what we do, isn't it? There's always a different version or a different way. So, Kay, you love them all. Thank you so much, everybody. Kate, you like the hexagon shapes. Yeah, they're really good. You're into bees at the minute. I know you are. I've been seeing your lovely creations. So they are very appropriate. And you like the cards as well. So thank you so, so much. I think they're quite sweet. I've got a birthday card I need for my nephew's son. So I'm thinking of using one of those and then putting his age on it. Okay, couple of things to share with you, things that are happening in the world with Stampin' Up! Right at the moment. So today we have the Waves of the Ocean collection. This is an early release product or collection of products. So we have stamps and dies. We've got lovely papers, some new blue foils, and then these rhinestone jewels, which look lovely. Look at those. You can get the whole collection under one code if you fancied it. So this will be coming in the new annual catalogue, but it's available as an early release. I've popped a little video on my Facebook page this morning showing you a little in-depth, a little bit more of a closer look at what's in here. But yeah, you can go over to my online shop to find that. And then really exciting, I did share you a quick flick of this last week. We've got a little promotion called Savings Are in Bloom, and we've got the mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine with 20% off, along with all of these die stamp bundles at 20% off too. And what have we got? 3, 6, 9, 12, 13 sets there. Some really, really good ones. The peaches, sweet as a peach. I know a lot of my customers have got that because I included it as a product suite. But I'm glad to see the Quiet Meadow is in here. That's such a lovely set. I don't have the stamps, but I have the dies. So yeah, which is really, really a good promotion. Hydrangea Haven, another really beautiful one as well. So a really good selection of products there. That is only available for this month, so that's 20% off. So that's it. That's the two new things that are happening. We've got more stuff coming, waiting on another kit as well. But for now, I don't think there's anything else I was going to show you. I've re-advertised another class, a rerun of my garden greenhouse class. Still got some of these in packets, but that was this one where you're making a box and 4 cards. I'm doing an in-person event next Thursday in the morning and the evening alongside my 6-card class, or you can order kits in the post. So, but take a look at my events website, everything is up there. I've also advertised my next creative escape at the hotel at Bowden Hall. That's a whole day of crafting, 9 till 5. You get a product goodie bag. It's Saturday the 16th of July. So booking is open for that. You need to just put a £10 deposit down to secure your space, and then you can chip away at it monthly if you want to. But it will be a really fab day. We get a buffet lunch included. It's £90. You get some product included in that as well. And then once I've decided what we're using, so I'm going to wait for the new annual catalogue, there'll be an option to add on either a die or a punch, depending on which bundle it goes with. So, but anyway, thank you so, so much for joining me today. We are at 11:10, so I haven't been as long today. But I hope you've enjoyed the cards, and please take care on your travels. Kay, it's my pleasure. I love sharing with you all. Just love being on here, sharing my love of the products with you all, and, you know, inspiring, because that's what it's about. We all need inspiration, don't we? So thank you so much. Please take care, and I will be back with you all very, very soon. So bye for now.